So what happened last week and what's going to happen next week? I'm going to take you to the charts and we're going to have a look at the Millionaire trades for next week. Let's go and see what next week's going to bring us. And let's have a look at how the last week went. What went on? We've had a bit of a correction. There's been a little bit of movement in the markets. There's been a little bit of excitement. Is it the winds of change? Are we going to topple over and are we going to correct in the markets now? Or are we going to continue back onto the long side and keep on going up? It's quite difficult to say. We are heading into the Christmas period, which does make quite a big difference to the markets. And there's a lot of news going around in the markets. There's a lot of things happening in the economy. There's interest rate changes, there's Fed speeches, there's non-farm payrolls, there's geopolitics going on, and the markets are jumping around a bit. So it is difficult to find reasonable trades at the moment. But as we stand at the moment, the trades have really started to come into place. Now, I make this video on the Friday for you. So this video comes out on the weekend for you, which basically goes over the markets for the last week and goes over the markets for next week. But if you are in trading, just remember that trading is risky, really risky, and 80% of traders, 70 to 80% of traders do lose money. And if you don't like losing money, you most probably shouldn't be trading. Or if you don't like risk, you probably shouldn't be trading. Probably not the right thing for you. Guys, if you don't have money to trade and you're looking to trade, I do have a link to a funded trader account in the description that we're playing with. Go and grab yourself that. Or if you don't want to do that, go and grab your free Forex book, which I've got for you in the description as well. And it'll just help you to trade with trends and that sort of thing. But follow the video series and figure out how you can trade without indicators. We don't use indicators in our trading. We don't need indicators in our trading because it's not the squiggly lines that make you money, because trading's a 50-50 game. At the end of the day, it's how you approach the market and the business plan that you put together that makes all the difference to how you trade in the markets, or whether you will be a successful trader or not. You can put two traders in the same room, and let me tell you something, with the same system, one of them will be successful and the other one will fail. It's just the way of the markets, and it's just how it is, guys. That's never going to change, unfortunately. But if you're a profitable trader and you know what you're doing, then great. If you're not and you're struggling to become profitable, then do go ahead, watch the series, find out how you can become a profitable trader. But after we've been to the charts and we've had a look at the trades for next week and the trades from last week, then we'll go over a little bit about the business plan and how you can approach trading in a profitable way and how you can perhaps improve your system so that you can make money in the markets. Let's go and have a look at the charts. Let's go and see what happened last week. Let's go and see what's going to happen next week. And then we can go from there. Let's have a look at what's happened last week and what we think is going to happen next week. Now, we're looking at this on the Friday, so everything is still live. And I'm putting this out to you on the Saturday so that you guys can just have a look and see for yourselves what you think is going to happen. So by the time you see this, these prices may have closed in a completely different place because this is probably earlier in the day. I've clearly taken a long trade on the gold. Maybe I was wrong because I'm in a loss, but yeah, I'm looking at this area. I just feel like the gold has been long all along. It's long, it's in structure, it keeps going long. There was a retractment, big long red candles yesterday. So yeah, the trade is kind of high risk in its own way. But what I'm looking at here is there is money lying up here, which it might want to go back and take. And there was money lying here, which will most probably take to go back. And this trade is pretty long. So I'm hoping that it'll reach the 28 and give us a new high. I'm still bullish on gold. I think gold may still continue on long next week. Today we took a short on the Aussie dollar, US dollar, and the reason for that you can clearly see it's been in this bearish trend all the way down here. It's in structure. It's now hit the trend resistance. Big red candle, looks like it wants to go down. Yeah, I think we're short on the euro US dollar. I do believe that next week, if it does reach this major support, we might get a change in the wind. We'll see what happens. It might move around, come back the other way. Now, on the Forex, I've seen that the Dixie is falling over. So you've got these tops here, and there is a major daily resistance at the top here. You guys know how we put these levels in already, so I'm not going to show you how to do that now. If you want to know how to put these levels in, we put them in on the day chart. Go and have a look at the series of videos that I've got that show during the week how we trade and how we add these levels for price action and support and resistance. So yeah, it's rolling over. It's rolling over at the top here. Look, it's hit the tops. So it does look to me like it wants to turn around, but it could be just, it's ranging. It could be just a little bit of a pattern, a little bit of a flag, and it will resolve to the upside. So just watch out for that. And, the inverse of that is the euro US dollar. The euro has been crashing down. The euro seems to have broken structure and it wants to go up. So there's a good possibility that the euro might try and turn around and go long. How far it will go remains to be seen, because if you look at the Great British Pound US dollar, which normally tracks very closely to the euro US dollar, this one has broken through its support, wants to turn around, come back. It's retested and it's gone down on the big red candle and it looks very short. So if the Great British Pound US dollar goes short, the euro US dollar will most likely follow suit because it is based on the same dollar. Then the US dollar Japanese yen did break through its resistance and it did go long. It's come back, retested twice, and it looks like it wants to continue on long. I'd say this is ranging and it's going to resolve to the upside. So the US dollar Japanese yen will most likely remain long, as will the euro Japanese yen most likely remain long. The South African rand against the US dollar, or the US dollar against the South African rand, this has flattened out a bit, and there has been some rumors of news that South Africa might actually get upgraded again. It was downgraded to junk status a while back, and there's a good chance it'll get upgraded to something a little bit better than that, maybe not so bad junk. So that means that this rand could actually strengthen, and it might actually topple over and come down this way on the chart. So do be wary of that when you are trading this particular product, but there are some strong support levels down here on the 4-hour chart. Euro Great British Pound has hit resistance, turned around, and looks to go short. And there's a lot of money lying down in this area down here. There's a strong demand area waiting for this to come back and then continue on long. So if you want to take long trades, wait for it to get back down into this area down here. US dollar Canadian dollar is still long. It's in its structure, so I wouldn't play around with that. I wouldn't go short on it. Aussie dollar US dollar we've already covered. We're already short on that. Bitcoin does appear to be sort of coming down to take this money in this blocky area down here. So we expect it'll come in here, take that, and probably continue on long. It does appear to be long at the moment, but it seems to be getting affected by the rest of the markets as well, which is quite interesting because Bitcoin is supposed to separate itself from the markets. And somehow the powers that be have managed to connect Bitcoin to everything else. Interesting, isn't it? That's always going to happen no matter what you do. Right, so Brent crude oil has filled the gap as we expected. So the gap is now filled. It's gone back up into fill the gap. Just be careful of this trend resistance. If it breaks through the trend resistance, then I expect it'll continue on a high until it gets to the main resistance up here. We'll go long again. I don't hold Brent over the weekend because things can change over a weekend when it comes to things like oil. Then the indexes, the FTSE has gone short, broken through its support, come back to retest, and it may continue on short. Be wary of that. US 500 has gone short, but it's come into support, and we don't know if it's going to break through or if it's going to break back out to the upside. If the US 500 does break to the downside, you could see quite a lot of downside coming in here. Most likely all the way down to the 5400 levels. If it breaks the support, quite a serious break coming. That said, if you look at the Dow Jones, it's sort of come down and started to break these levels, break structure. If you look at the tech is still holding in its structure, but it's very close to breaking out of its structure as well. If those two break down, the US 500 is also going to break down. The DAX looks like it wants to bounce off of its support and head on upwards. It's not impossible. It could do that, but if it breaks through here, same scenario as the other indexes, breaks through here, there's a long way down. We're looking at 182s if it breaks through this support. So this support has got to be a strong support for these markets to hold up. If it breaks through there, I'll actually be happier because that will be a great short. The France, that has broken through, coming back to retest and going down. The Nikkei is on its trend support and looking like a long trade from here. So let's see what it does. See if it holds that long trade, but you don't want to hold these over weekends. The South African top 40 long trade, and like I said, there's a strong possibility of a strength in the market because of the rating that they're possibly going to give the people. So all I can say here is, yeah, long trades look good on the South African top 40 if it is in your system. And that's the week ahead. So now you've been to the charts, and now you can really see what the markets are doing and what they're not doing and what you think they might be doing in the week ahead. But how do you approach that kind of trading? How do you approach the trades so that you can be profitable? Because so many people have sold you a course and you've paid thousands of dollars for it, and you thought, well, I'll be successful at that because I've actually kind of did quite well in the course and I figured the system out and it all works for me and it's all quite easy. And trading is easy if you keep it simple. It's not complicated. But then you go and put real money in the market, and guess what? Things suddenly start to go array. Suddenly you start to lose trades and you're not profitable, and you start to wonder what's going on. You start to think, why is this not working? Because when I was on the course and I was doing this course sitting next to all these other people and I was looking at these charts, it was so easy. And then when I came home, I put some money in the markets. Suddenly I can't do this. Suddenly this is difficult. That's because they didn't teach you how to approach it. They didn't teach you the psychology behind trading, the important part, the part that really counts, which is the fear that you have in your mind. There's something in our receptors. We just cannot take fear. We cannot control ourselves when the fear kicks in. So when we start losing, we start trying to not lose, and we start trying to hold on to trades. We start trying to move the stop losses away. We start trying to hold on. We start trying to average down and trying to get the money back and so on and so on. And it just becomes a nightmare and turns into tears. And if it goes into profit, instead of waiting for it to reach the target, what do? It goes 50 cents into profit and you're out of there and you're taking the profit and you're gone, because it's almost like a relief trade. You were in a loss and suddenly you're in profit. You see the green and you think, phew, I'm in profit. I'm not in a loss. Grab the money and run. Now you've got nothing. And now you've made nothing. And you know what? In 10 trades, you'll have 9 trades like that. And then you'll have one big loss, one humongous gargantuan loss, which puts you in a loss. And then you'll say, ooh, I've got a 90% win rate, and you'll go around boasting about it. Or, you'll say, well, that system that guy gave me that he promoted that said it was a 90% win rate, it was a 90% win rate. What he didn't tell me was I'm not going to make a profit when I do this. It's kind of strange. Or they'll tell you can turn $100 into $1 million, and, theoretically that's possible, but practically, nah, you're not going to get it right. Just think about it. You've got to take at least 10 trades, maxed out on every single trade, to get up to a reasonable level, and it's just the possibility or the probability of you winning 10 trades in a row are very remote, because the market is a 50-50 game. The bigger probability that you've got is that for every 10 trades you take, you're going to lose 5 and you're going to win 5. And then you're going to say to me, but Rob, that just gives me a break even. I'm not going to be making money in the stock market. Yeah, if you break even, you're doing good. But here's the thing. You've got to lose less on your losses and make more on your wins. And how do you do that? What you do is you work your stop loss to the T. In other words, 1% of your account on every single trade, the exact 1%. But if you make a profit, don't increase the 1%. What you do is you say, my account is generally a $100,000 account or a $5,000 account or a $10,000 account, and work out 1% of that. If your $100,000 account becomes $300,000, wonderful. I like that. That's good. But don't start risking the 3,000 just yet, because you're just not comfortable with that yet. You've got to get comfortable with it before you risk it, because whatever amount you risk, you have to be comfortable with losing. So just risk $1,000 per trade and keep it the same across all the trades. Don't risk less, don't risk more, risk the same. So in other words, it's $1,000 per trade. And then you try and target $2,000, at least $1,500, somewhere around there, so that you've got a bigger win than a loss. Then you write that $1,000 off, because you've bought the trade, you've paid for the trade, you walk away from it. Whatever happens, happens. If you see your trade move up into a reasonable profit, don't jump out of it and take the profit. Take your stop loss, move it up to break even, at least when you're about $500 in profit on $1,000, and then follow it up further. When it goes up to maybe $1,200, then move it up into a $500, $600 profit. Move it a bit closer, because now you're comfortable. If it comes back, you're going to make a profit, no less. And when it gets to your target, move your stop loss up right behind it. So if it comes back, it takes you out at target. If it carries on going north, you can make more than you expected to in the first place. And this is a very basic 2-step business plan that you don't even have to write down. You just have to keep this in your mind, and you just have to follow these principles to be profitable. But this video was supposed to be just about what the markets did last week and what they did next week. So maybe you should come back on Monday and watch the video, which will give you a much better explanation on systems or trading systems and strategies and how you can be profitable in the market. So I hope you have a fun trading week, and I hope you do make lots of money this week. Don't forget, we have the live shows on Tuesday and Thursday. Tuesday's normally in the European session, and Thursday's normally on the USA session times. Thursdays is a bit later than Tuesdays, just so that we can cover both bases. And the live shows are not to sit there with little 5-minute charts going, "Ooh, I'm winning every trade." No, it doesn't work like that, guys. We're sitting there and we're chatting. We're going to talk to each other. You're going to ask me questions. I'm going to give you answers. I'm going to give you some information on the markets, just like I do here. I'm not going to boast about trading. I'm not going to be clicking little buttons. There will be charts there, 4-hour charts, because we trade slow. We're like tortoise traders, or remember those guys used to be called the turtle traders. We trade slow, guys. We trade slow, carefully, and we wait for the market to come to us. We don't, these scalping traders out there going out there and trading 5-minute, 1-minute charts. It's all great because you're seeing little squiggly lines move around and it's exciting. And I see there's lots of people watching those videos because, yeah, it's exciting to watch little bars going up and down and whatnot. But at the end of the day, there's a reality here. And the reality is you want to make money in the stock market and you want to become profitable. And if you want that reality, and if you want to know the truth, and if you want to know that trading is hard and trading is a 50-50 game, and you need to get your head around it, and you need to learn how to do it, then come and join me for the live shows. Watch my other videos in the series and become a profitable trader. And let's see how we go from there. Thank you for watching, guys. Don't forget to come back and watch the live shows. Till next time, cheers, ciao, and bye.